Hello everyone, this is Sew with Debee. I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to day 5 of the Quiltmas sew along video series. Well, it's not really a sew along, it's more of a watch along. Keep watching for the details on how to win some great prizes. And what you need to do first of all is pay attention to some secret words. Each video of the 12 different content creators will have one word. You need to fill out an entry form between December 12th and 14th for a final draw where you can win a wonderful handcrafted prize. As you know, I'm a scrap quilter. So what do I always have a lot of? I have a lot of strips. They're all in different sizes. Sometimes I'm challenged on how to use the ones that are left over from another project. So I've decided to find some Christmas themed strips specifically for this project. So you ask what I'm making? Well, I'm going to sew you a sewing machine. I am going to mail you a sewing machine. How about that? Isn't that very exciting? I wish I could, but my husband might be a little bit mad at me if I did that for real. So I'm going to make a smaller version as a season's greetings card. So what I've done is I've drafted up the sewing machine outline and I've put it on some Steam-A-Seam 2. You could also use any other type of base like a Wonder Under Heat and Bond. Heat and Bond has 2 different weights. They have a light, which is what I use a lot of times. They also have an altar hold. The altar hold you cannot sew through. It's great for doing patches or direct applique that requires no sewing afterwards. So what I've done is I've peeled off the top layer of my Steam-A-Seam. I've traced my shape, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick an area of strips where I want to put this down. Because I have a background that this is going to be cut out and put onto a lighter background, I want it to really pop. So I'm thinking in here would be a good choice, like that. And what you can do is you can actually take the bottom paper off, which I'm going to do now, and then I'll place it here. That gives me a preview. If I don't like it, I can pick it up and move it around until I'm happy with what I see. I can see the seam lines underneath are okay. They're pretty parallel to the base of this, but this is artwork, so it's not going to be perfect. So what now I'll do is I'll take this over to the iron and give this a really, really good heat setting press without any steam. So let me do that and I'll be right back. I have to admit I haven't done this type of applique in quite some time, and I actually stuck the first one on the wrong side of the fabric, which is the right side of the fabric, if that makes sense. And what you actually have to do is, this is now garbage because it has all the sticky stuff, and who wants to look at that as a finished project? And I also realized because I want the sewing machine facing this way when it's done, I needed to reverse my tracing, which I've gone ahead and taken care of. This has now been adhered to the wrong side of the fabric. And now taking a good pair of scissors. I like these Karen Buckley ones. Tula Pink also has a pair that I like. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut around the edges. If you had one of the smaller rotary cutters, you could use that as well, but I would probably not recommend that. So I'm going to do all that and then I'll show you what we do next. So I've now got all these pieces cut out and it went very quickly. I don't need any of these strips any longer, so I will put those aside for another project. And what we're now going to do is I have a piece of backing fabric, or background actually, and all the bits and pieces of fabric that were cut away, those go into the recycling because they have glue on some of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this fabric for the background, but I'm going to flip it so it's just on the lighter side. So what will happen is we'll be peeling all of this extra paper off. It comes very easily. And then what I want to do is center it in the space. The window itself will be about 4 by 6. So what I'll do is I'll carefully make sure, checking against the pattern that we have here, that each piece is put in an area that I want it to be. So I will go ahead and get all these peeled off and placed. The great part of using this steam seam, which is one reason why I like it, is it's a bit tacky. So you can just lightly press it with your finger and move things around until you're ready to apply heat to it, and that makes it permanent. So if you haven't used it, it is a worthwhile product to track down. I am not getting paid for this endorsement. I just really like the product, and I've used it for a couple pieces of artwork that I've done. So let me go ahead and do this, and I'll be right back. So I have gone ahead and placed them all. I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. Again, I have this paper as a reference. So before you go and put your iron on it, it's really a good idea to make sure you put a cover over it so that any of the glue that seeps out does not end up on the bottom of your iron. I do have a pressing cloth that is specifically for that, but you can also use parchment paper or the backing paper that comes in the roll of vinyl, because that works just as well. So I will just do this, and I'll see you right back here. Okay, we're about halfway there. So I have this all adhered to my background fabric, and next we need some batting. I like to use scraps, so I have some thinner cotton batting, and I also have some polyester. This polyester, I actually use it in crafting, and I also use it in some placemats. I think I'm going to use the cotton today just to keep it all a cotton card. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this on top of the batting. It doesn't matter if it comes short, because this is going to be trimmed down and squared up. You just want to make sure that this is centered as best you can. So that works right there. And then I want, just because I'm being a little bit picky about this, I don't normally need to, but because I am sending this to a viewer, I will finish it up a little bit nicer. And I've got some old backing fabric that I used on a quilt recently, and I will center this here as well. And then you have a design choice. You can either do some free motion quilting around, you can do some applique around the whole sewing machine just to give it another look. I'm going to do matchstick quilting, and what I'm doing is I'm going to use the lines on the background as a guide, and then in every couple rows I'm just going to do straight stitches. I really like that modern technique. And I may also add some hand stitch thread just as a little element to finish this off. So let me go ahead and do that. To baste this, you can glue baste it if you want. I'm always a little hesitant to use like an overall glue stick or liquid glue, because I think it will gum the nails or the needle. So what I will do is I'll probably just use some normal pins and put them in just randomly, just to keep the layers from shifting too much as I get started on this. When I do this, I'll do about a 3 length, starting in the center and then working out. If you're starting this way, doing it all on the horizontal, then again you would start in the center and work your way towards the outside edges. That just stops any creeping as it goes along and any buckling. Not quite sure what kind of thread to use on this. Let me see what I can come up with. I'll have to pull out some of my old ones and see what I decide. I'll be right back. Okay, so thread choices. I typically do all my piecing and some of my quilting with a 50 weight or a fill cotton. I just like that and how it works for my machine. I also like to use a 60 weight bottom line from Superior Threads when I'm using specialty threads. So I think that's what I'm going to use today. I already have put some of that in my machine. For the top, I've decided not to use the Aurifil. I have a 50 weight, this is 50 weight of another type of cotton. It has a bit of a sheen to it. I'm not liking that too much, but we'll see what I come up with. I was given some sulky. This is 40 weight, so it's a little bit thicker, and that has kind of a nice look. I'm not sure how this is showing up for you. This is another silky or sulky. This is another 40 weight. It has a nice sheen to it. One of these two is what I'm liking the most. And then somebody had given me a bunch of different metallics, which I'm thinking, that might be fun to use. And this is what I'm thinking, something like this, just to give it a little bit more excitement here. And then if this one doesn't work, that's a sulky, and it's pretty variegated. And then I also have this Madeira, which is a 40 weight. It's a poly, which I think I might be using. And this one's got a nice bit of variegated. I've used this one before and I really like how it turned out. So I'll go with one of these two. Again, I'm going to be doing a vertical walking foot stitch around 3.5, which will be my stitch length. I've reduced the pressure, I've adjusted my tension, and I think I'm good to go. So I'll let you take a peek at how this is going along once I've got a couple rows done. So I've got all of the stitching done here, and it turned out very well. I didn't experience any thread breaks. I do notice though it does tend to come unstitched at the top, so I just put a tack stitch in my regular Aurifil going around with the smaller stitch length, and then I also added the thread loop going across like that. And then if you look at the back, you can see all the walking straight stitching. I really like this match stitch look. Sorry, I'm having problems talking today, just getting over a really horrible cold. So next I will trim this up, and you wonder how am I going to send this out. Well, I have these neat, they're meant for photographs, but I actually use them for sending out custom cards, and this will get trimmed down and it slips into here, and then it can be like this when it's standing up on its own. I do have a few little sticky things that I put on the end so it doesn't slide out. I have weighed this. This is on the upper limit for a letter mail stamp. I am in Canada, so depending on where this gets mailed will depend on what method of mail I send it out to you. So good luck. I hope you enter. All the details are in the video description. Next up on December 6th is number 6 is Vicky from Vicky Myers Creations. And did you catch my special word, my secret word that you need in order to enter for a prize? It is for strips, because I do most of my patterns are using scraps of strips or potato chips. So good luck, and until next time, sew safely and sew with Debee. So here's the finished card. Waiting for a special message just to you. And then on the back, and then you'll see I've got a couple dots in there, and these are the ones that I use. They say they're photo safe and acid free, so if you really wanted to take this apart, you could. I have written a special message on the back side of this. You could make it into a mug red if you wanted to. So don't forget to check out the video description. This has been a really fun thing to do. And don't forget to also check out for tomorrow Vicky Meyer Creations. And thank you to Kristen and Tom for organizing this. This has been a lot of fun. So until next time, again, sew safely and sew with Debee. Have a great day, and bye for now.